I would like to share with you a story found in Matthew chapter 8. Now, to set the context for this story, Jesus had been busy all day. He'd been healing people, he'd been casting out demons, and he was getting tired, and it was coming on to evening time. And in Scripture we read here that when Jesus saw the crowd around him, he gave orders to cross to the other side of the lake. Now, I find that interesting because, I imagine Jesus as this perfect being. People have come to him for healing. And as the crowd begins to swell on nighttime, he finds that he actually needs a rest. Jesus needed a rest from the healing. How is it that if Jesus realizes that he needs a rest, that we find so much difficulty in giving ourselves permission to stop and to find peace and to look after ourselves, even though there's others around us still needing our healing ministry? And so the disciples brought up the boat, and Jesus got into the boat. And as we continue the story, what we find is that then he got into the boat and his disciples followed him. Suddenly a furious storm came up on the lake so that the waves swept over the boat, but Jesus was sleeping. Now, this is the disciples, and they've just been with Jesus all day, and they've seen his healing ministry. And now they're afraid. They've forgotten everything that they've saw, and they're afraid. And they're just caught up in the busyness of the storm. And often we are just so caught up in the busyness of the storm and trying to do everything that we can to cope with all the patient care, with the family needs, of the needs of everyone around about us, that we lose sight of the giver of the gift. Because God has given us a gift. He's invited us to come in to this healing ministry, to be a part of that healing ministry of healing others. What a wonderful gift. We all started with a sense of mission, but when we get so busy and caught up in it, we forget to make time for the giver. And in the midst of the storm, we begin to panic, just as the disciples did. And so the disciples went to wake up Jesus. Now you think about this. Here we are in a small boat in the middle of a storm. It's blowing all around. It must be rocking. You think of the waves crashing over the top, the water rushing through. How is it that Jesus was able to sleep through all of that? And one of the reasons why he slept was not just because of his fatigue, but because he slept in the knowledge that his Father was in control of the storm. And when we are caught in the midst of the storm, we need to find time to reconnect to the purpose of why we're in that storm, and to find the peace that comes through reconnecting with the Father and just taking that moment to be still and know that he is God and find the peace in the storm. Why he doesn't cure the storm or make it quiet, I don't know. But what I do know is that he is always ready to help me find peace in the midst of the storm. And my prayer for you today is that you will find peace in the midst of the storm.